Today we are going to be reading Chapter 6 of Native Americans, our next unit. And in Chapter 5 yesterday we learned a little bit about the Northwest Native American tribes and some of their beliefs and some of the ways that they survived and some of the things that they ate and some of the things that they did. Today we're going to be looking at and learning about myths from the Pacific Northwest in Chapter 6. So remember, a myth is a story that is untrue, but it's a story, it's like a tale that explains something. Today our big question: how did tribes of the Pacific Northwest use myths to explain things in nature? First one, Raven steals the light. Raven is a very important character in the mythology of most Pacific Northwest tribes. He is featured in numerous stories, many of which are creation myths. Creation myths explain how the world began and how people and various animals came into the world. However, in this tale, Raven is not really a creator. He is actually a trickster, meaning that he makes things happen by tricking other characters. The following story explains how light was hidden and then restored. Many years ago, in a house on the banks of the Yakima River, there lived an old man and his grown daughter. You would not have known by looking at his little house, but the old man was very rich. However, he was also very greedy. Every year, many salmon swam past his house. He always caught many more than he needed, and he chased away anyone else who tried to catch them. "Go away!" he yelled. "Those are my fish." "These are not your fish," the people told him. "The river gave them to us." But the old man ignored them. "You'll be sorry if you take my fish again," he warned. When he saw a woman gathering firewood in the forest near his house, the man yelled, "That is my firewood. Go away and get your own." The woman held up the sticks and said, "You do not own this wood. The tree gave it to me." The old man only shook his fist and warned, "You'll be sorry if you take my firewood again." The old man was so greedy that he would not even share his own daughter. He would not let her take fish from the river. She was allowed to gather the roots and berries to eat, but only if she walked far away from the house, so she would not gather any of his foods. When he caught her eating blackberries from a bush near his house, he yelled, "Those are my berries! You'll be sorry you took them." "But the bush gave them to me," his daughter said in a meek and nervous voice. This made the old man very angry. He was tired of people stealing from him, but he knew how to stop them once and for all. People could not steal his things if they could not see them. However, he was so rich, he could not hide all the things he owned, so he decided to hide the light instead. The old man took the sun and the moon and the stars from the sky, and he put them in a box. He hid the box in his house and refused to tell anyone where it was. Then the whole world was dark. When people needed firewood, they had to crawl out in the darkness and search on the ground with their hands until they found something that felt like wood. When they were hungry, they had to crawl into the river and feel around in the water until a fish swam into their hands. Life without light was very hard, and soon the people were cold and hungry, and a sadness filled their hearts. But Raven heard about the greedy old man who stole the sun and the moon and the stars, and he came up with a plan to steal them back. Raven followed the old man's daughter when she went out searching for food. She searched in the darkness and found a blackberry bush. The thorns pricked her fingers as she searched for berries. Clever Raven turned himself into a blackberry, and she picked him and ate him. Then Raven was in her belly, and he became her child. Months later, Raven was born. The old man did not like having a baby in the house. To make matters worse, Raven grew very quickly, and soon he was a curious, energetic boy. He asked questions about everything, and he always wanted the old man to tell him stories, sing songs, and play games. The old man did not like to do any of these things, but Raven asked him every day anyway. Grandfather, I'm bored, Raven said. Will you play a game with me? No. Will you tell me a story? No. Then what can I do? I am bored. The old man fumbled around in the dark, trying to find something for Raven to play with. Raven refused everything he offered. I already played with that. That is boring, Raven said. If I could only see, then maybe I could find something to do. But it's too dark. Then the old man had an idea. He went to a secret hiding place and pulled out the box. He gave the box to Raven and said, Here, play with this. This will keep you busy for a while. Just don't show anybody else. Now leave me alone. Raven opened the box and the light of the sun and the moon shone on his face. Then the old man could see that he had been tricked. Grasping the box in his talons, Raven flapped his wings and flew out of the house. He flew and flew way up into the sky, and there he emptied the box, and the sun and the moon and the stars all returned to their places, and the light was restored. The next myth is called Thunderbird and Killer Whale. Thunderbird is a mythical creature common in most Pacific Northwest cultures. It is also a common theme on totem poles or ceremonial costumes. In most stories, Thunderbird was a kind and powerful creature who often helped people. The story of Thunderbird and Killer Whale appears in many tribal mythologies. Like many myths, this one was used to explain certain aspects of nature or important events. There are two natural events or phenomena explained in this story. Can you tell what they are? One day, Killer Whale arrived in the waters and attacked all the other fish. Killer Whale was hungry and he ate many fish. The fish he did not eat were so scared, they swam away to other waters. Then the people could not find any fish for themselves, and they began to starve. Thunderbird was a big, mighty bird. His bright, colorful feathers were as long as canoe paddles, and his talons were like harpoons. When he flapped his great wings, the sound of thunder rumbled through the skies. One day, Thunderbird was flying along the coast. He looked down and saw that the people were starving. This made Thunderbird sad because he loved the people and did not want to see them suffer. He asked them why they did not have any fish, and the people told him about Killer Whale. This made Thunderbird very angry. Thunderbird found Killer Whale and swooped down out of the sky. Thunderbird grabbed Killer Whale with his talons and tried to carry him away, but Killer Whale put up a fight. He wrestled free from Thunderbird's grasp and fell down into the ocean with a great splash. The splash was so big that it shook all the waters and even the land. The waters rose up and covered the land. Trees were ripped from the soil, houses were shattered, and many people died before the ocean waters receded. Thunderbird and Killer Whale fought for many days. At last, Killer Whale knew he could not win, and he swam away. Gradually, the fish returned and the people had food again. Ever since, the people had never forgotten how Thunderbird helped them. According to this story, Thunderbird's wings caused the sound of thunder. This is common in most Thunderbird myths, but this story seems to explain something else. Many researchers believe this story is about a tsunami or tidal wave that struck the Pacific Northwest hundreds of years ago. Tsunamis are caused by earthquakes in the Earth's crust deep beneath the ocean surface. The vibrations from the earthquake create the waves, and if the earthquake is strong enough, these waves can form a tsunami. Tsunamis are very destructive when they strike land. It is no surprise that the survivors would mark the event with a myth like this. I hope you enjoyed these two myths from the Pacific Northwest. Have a good day.